All right, we are ready to move on to the next part of your color wheel project. This is the color wheel, and I am going to have one of these, one or two at each table, so that you have a visual for you. So once you get started, you have all your design around, and they are all outlined with a Sharpie marker. What we're gonna do is I have a little bit of paint, as I said, a little bit of paint on my paper plate, and then this is my mixing tray. The reason why I say a little bit of paint is I've seen some massive amounts of paint being thrown away. So don't do that. Just get out a little bit of paint, and then if you need more, you can go back and get it. So what I've done is I've made my red. That's my center color. And then I'm going to go back and I am going to make this a light red or a pink. Don't worry about if you get on the black, because we can go over it again. Always make sure you have water to clean your brush out with. Remember in the video that we saw before, you always want to keep your palette clean. You don't want to do any mixing in here. That's why we're mixing on the plastic. So this time I'm going to take just a little bit of pink, and I'm going to put it down here. So based on the tints and shades that you guys did last week, we are going to create a color wheel with tints and shades. Now, as you see, I don't have a lot of paint on this. Not a lot at all. So, meaning I'm just using my water to clean out my brushes, and that's it. And you do want to make sure that there is a difference, because you are doing shades and tints, and white, when you add white to a color, that's what makes the tints. And then when you add dark to the color, that is what makes your shades, which you already knew. Now you can scatter these about, but just remember, wherever you put your colors, the exact color for the others need to be in the exact same spot. Okay, so I have my yellow, or excuse me, my pinks down. Now what I'm going to do is grab some red, and then I'm just going to grab just a little bit of black, because black goes a long way. So we're going to take some and just mix a little bit of black. And then I'm going to paint it in here. Now remember, you're going to have 10 sections. And so that's why I kind of questioned some of you about how many actual shapes that you have in your color wheel, because this is not our last project. We still have a couple more, plus I'm wanting to do a project for a final exam, but we'll see about that. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit more, add a little bit more black, and then you're going to find where that's going to go. Now I'm just adding just a teeny tiny amount of water to make it a little bit more workable. Okay. And you just want to make sure that when you're doing this, that the sections at the top on the outside of your wheel are the darkest, and the ones on closer to the inside are the lightest. You want to make sure they're like that for all your sections. Okay, so one thing I do recommend, like the last time, is go ahead and get your primaries first. So that one, those are done with, because you don't have to mix the other colors. And also, one other thing I have noticed as I'm walking around, the method of creating this with the paper and the pencil and the little piece of cardboard, that is to guarantee that your color wheel sections are all the same size. Okay, you need 12. If you don't have 12, you've made a mistake. If you have some that are not the same size, see how all these are the same size, you have completed it incorrectly just because you're not following instructions. Okay. And I do highly suggest not getting your paper soaking wet, because these have to go back into your locker. If we don't have that's going to be a problem. Whoops. Let's get a little bit more darker here. And plus, it's going to keep your paper from curling up. I barely have any water on here, and this is wanting to curl up. I think I'm going to make this one a little bit darker. Now, all I'm asking is for you to be very neat. Make sure that you're paying attention to your craftsmanship, meaning you're not slopping it about. You're doing it for a purpose. Okay? So once this is done, you're going to move on, and you are going to do your color wheel. And you can even go ahead and write down, like this is red. So we go 1, 2, 3. This is going to be yellow, 1, 2, 3. This one's going to be blue. And you can write it on the outside or whatever. So blue plus yellow equals green. So this is going to be green. And then we go yellow plus red, that equals orange. And we do blue plus red, that equals purple. And then this means that this one between purple and red is going to be red violet, and this is going to be blue purple, and then this one is going to be blue green. This one and this one yellow green, means it has more yellow. Yellow orange, and this is going to be a red orange. All right, so I would go ahead and actually put a symbol for each one of these, orange, red, orange, so you know which one you're going to go do next. But you're going to do the red first, then the blue, then the yellow. Then you're going to go to the green, orange, purple, and then from there you're going to the intermediate colors, which are red, violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red, orange. All right? So this is what we're going to be working on. Please be very conscious about how much paint you're taking out, how much paint you're mixing, and everything. So let's go ahead and get started. I think these are going to turn out really, really cool with all the variations of the colors. If by chance you decide, you know what, I don't like that one right there, what we will have to do is make sure it's completely dry. And then we'll take some acrylic paint and paint over it a few times to block that off again, because you're not going to redo it. It just took way too much time. Some people were quick, some people not so much. But yeah, and I'm kind of estimating maybe Friday of next week. I'm not sure. We may even get it done sooner. So just be conscious of what you're doing, what you're painting, and we should be good. So thanks for listening, and let's go ahead and get busy.